Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to another video by your girl here, Big Bubby Beauty. It's great to see you all again. So if you recognize this look, which you might not, that's totally fair, it is from my Selena Gomez Rare Beauty makeup video. That is the base of my face right now. All the products I have on are from Rare Beauty. So I have the foundation, the concealer, both in 200C, as well as the liquid blush in Happy, the liquid highlighter in the shade Mesmerize, and right now I have actually on the lip balm Empathy, and then the setting spray Always an Optimist. Now the only thing that's not Rare Beauty are my eyebrows, which are like a Burt's Bees and Beauty Crop brow combo. Burt's Bees pencil and a Beauty Crop gel, clear gel. So that is all I have on right now. I didn't have an eyeshadow palette or eyeliner or anything that I wanted to use with that, so I thought I would film this extra trying out a palette with it instead. So this is the Natasha Denona Love Palette. It looks like it's got tons of fingerprints on it, which is one downside to the packaging. It is new, but it looks grimy, even though it's brand new. I got this recently, like a month or two ago, and I've been dying to try it out ever since. It has these shades inside. It looks gorgeous, like a very soft, romantic, but kind of purpley palette. I'm very excited for it. I have not tried Natasha Denona shadows yet, so this will be interesting, but I'm very excited. Now let's do some swatches first and just see what each shadow looks like on my hand. So the first one is called, well, First. So it's a matte, kind of creamish shade. It has more of a pink undertone than I thought it would. What's that shade there? It showed up way more than I thought it would on my hand. Next is a shade called Lifetime. That shimmer there, ooh, gorgeous. Then this shade called Heartbeat, which is super creamy. That shade, very pigmented. And the shade called Transparent, which ironically is not transparent, but I guess it is a little bit. This is, ooh, nice pinky topper. I like that so far. Then to complete that top row is the shade called Trust, which is like this mauvey purple matte shade. Okay, so not as pigmented, and it strays a little towards the grayish purple side. I kind of was hoping it would be like a pinky reddish purple, but it is a little bit more of a gray purple. God, that shade there looks so good. So the first one in the second row is called Heart. It's this gorgeous red color. Not super pigmented, but buildable, which is kind of a good thing for a red shade. And then this is the shimmer shade called Giving. Ooh, it's kind of glittery, like a glittery metallic pink. I'm not upset at it though. Next one is called Pure Love. Oh my god. Yep. Pure Love app name. Next is Commitment, which is so creamy. Holy. Okay. Again, the purple, this one is like a more dark color, but again, it skews a bit more gray than I would have expected. But in the pan, at least this one looks more like a plummy gray. The other one looked more like a purple, so not overall upset with that. The last one in this row is called Blind. Kind of like a silvery gray. Yeah, it's a silver. It's a straight up silver. That's pretty. So I mean, that makes sense now actually. So the purples in here seem to be kind of more of a grayish purple undertone, and there's like a legit silver in here. So it makes sense thematically with the palette of why it's set up like that, of why that's the shade of purple they chose. It's very like a mauvey, pinky purple romantic palette, which is aptly named because it's the Love palette. So next is called Soul. It's a nice matte shadow. All these matte shadows are really soft. So that's it there. Ooh, that's pretty. And then a shimmer shade called Passion. Ooh. Ooh. Again, a little bit more sparkly. Not glitter, but glittery. And just gorgeous. I love the tones in that. Next is called Intense. It's more of a coral shade, like a bright pinky peach shade. Again, super soft matte shade. Then Valentine, which is a bubblegum pink. Whoa, a very pigmented bubblegum pink. And last but not least is the shade Dream, which is like a purple shimmer. Nope, sorry, purple matte. I apparently cannot see. Ooh, I really like that. It's like a gorgeous lavender. It's actually a really nice shade. Dang. Okay, so that is all the shades in the palette. Those are all the shades in the palette. God, grammar. Grammar. Anyways, just in case anyone's curious, this is one of the apple oat lattes, like apple oat milk flat white. So good. I love fall for the drinks at Starbucks, if I'm gonna be honest. They come up with the best flavors. I'm actually surprisingly not a pumpkin spice person, mostly because it's too sweet. Like pumpkin spice at Starbucks is just overbearingly sweet, but this is quite nice. And it has a shit ton of espresso in it because it's flat white, so gotta love it. So those are all the shades in this palette here. I'm gonna hold it upside down just so I can cover the mirror a little bit easier. And one really cool thing about Natasha Denona shadows is you see these little holes here on the back. See if I can get those in focus. And so this makes it easy to pop out the shades for you to use them or switch them around if you don't like the arrangement, or make your own palette, or if a shade breaks you can pop it out and place in a fun new one. I think it's really nice. And now I'm gonna try and decide what I want to play with. Because this is, I kind of gave up on the doing a 3 looks 1 palette series just because it was taking way too long and I bought way too much eyeshadow all at once. So now I'm going to be doing just a first impressions of the palettes. And this one, as far as I know, in terms of Natasha Denona shadows, is actually decent in terms of price. So this palette here is $85 Canadian, which is still quite a bit. So I'm expecting a lot from these shadows, but compared to the Natasha Denona normal prices of palettes, which are like in the hundreds, this ain't bad. Now the $85 is Canadian, I think it's 65 US, but that's how much this cost. Yeah, that's a lot. But I do like the large mirror you get inside. You can kind of see my filming setup, which is really dirty, I'm sorry. Things I hide on the other side of the camera. I'm in the process of making a nice filming wall for you guys, so it takes a lot of construction. But I like the mirror. I like the packaging. It feels quite sturdy. I like the closure. I like the way the shadows feel so far. Now it's just whether or not it performs. I'm going to be extremely critical of them because they are like $85. You do get a decent amount of shades though, and a decent variety in terms of the looks that you could create. Like you could create a really soft pink look, a more romantic mauve look. You could create something with the gold and the peach and the silvers. Like you can create a gray toned purple look. You could create a not gray tone purple look and you can mix and match it up however much you want. You create a reddish pink look. Like you have a lot of options here, which is surprising. I do like the shades. I like how they all kind of complement each other, but you can create different looks with just about anything in this palette, which is really nice. Considering there's a mix of cool and warm tones, I'm actually kind of surprised that they managed to pull it off, because gold is straight up a warm tone, but it feels like it could pair well with like the cooler tones in the palette. So palette layout wise, it's kind of nice. I got a set of brushes from ColourPop, so I'm going to be using these to do my eye look with. I'm going to take this big fluffy blending brush and choose what color I want in my crease. What kind of look do I want today? I do want something pink, because pink blush, pink lips. Let's just stick on theme here. Yes, I like to color match. Is that weird? Let me know in the comments down below. Is that really weird that I like to really match my blush and lip color and eye color, like so that my face looks cohesive? Or is that very odd? Let me know. I think to start with, I'm gonna go in with the shade here called Intense. Now, we're gonna start with Valentine in the crease. So this is actually a lighter shade here. We're gonna go for a pinky look. We're just gonna put that in the crease here. Okay. Pigment. Wow. Already massive amounts of pigment. I've heard that makeup artists hold their brushes like from the end so that they are very soft with their application. So I'm trying that out right now to see how it goes. Like, I don't know if this will be any different or not from my usual makeup, but we're trying out a new technique. This is darker than I thought it was. Like, I literally just swatched it and I forgot what it looked like on the swatch. So it's probably my own fault, but also probably my eyelid color is way lighter than the back of my hand, which also probably has something to do with it. Got a nice light wash of color there. It's going to go over it a little bit more, build up that color, make sure it's nice and pigmented. In terms of trying this out as a new technique for holding the brushes, it's fine. I feel like I have just as much control, but I'm not pressing the crap out of my eyelids. So like, it's much softer, which is kind of nice actually. So I'm just gonna quickly clean off that brush. All right, so picking a smaller fluffy brush, we are going to go in the crease a little bit tighter with the color Soul here. This one right here. Come on, shine, ring light, be nice to me. That one there. Just to deepen up the crease a bit. Just to add a little bit more depth to the look. Now I think on the outer edge, I want to add just a little bit of this dark mauve color Heartbeat. And take another small fluffy brush. And we're just gonna fluff it onto the outer edges. Kind of was gonna go with Trust here, the grayish mauve, but grayish purple I should say, but I kind of want to stick with like a more mauvey pink look. This is the brush I should have used for that second color rather than the third color, but whatever. We're just gonna go over that outer edge just to give the eye look a little bit more depth. Okay, so those blend beautifully, but still keep their own shades, which is nice. So they blend really well, they're pigmented enough, but they have the option for you to build them up, which is actually something that I always look for with shadows, because if you mess up and it's super pigmented, then it's usually extremely hard to blend, and just it can look quite bad and cakey if they're, or like patchy if they're very pigmented or overly pigmented. So this is kind of actually a nice formula for more beginners like myself, I think. This is again all just my personal opinion. You are free to disagree with me. So I think for the entire lid, I'm gonna cover it in this shimmer shade called Passion. This nice deep shade here. I'm gonna try it with a brush. The odds are we're gonna have to go to my finger. Oh, I stand corrected. This applies beautifully with a brush. And I get lots of control. And no fallout, which is good, because I don't really want to mess up my face look here. Color me surprised. They work well. So that is the color so far. Pretty good, actually. Like that went on really well. So I am going to use my finger though. But I'm just going to give myself a little pop of that shade, giving the nice like very bright pink shade, and just pop that on the center of the lid. Just to give it a bit more depth and shine. There we go. Now I am going to take another fluffy brush. I'm just going to go into that shade first and just do up near the brow bone, just to kind of soften the edge here. It's very pigmented on swatch, but it's very close to the colors of my skin, so it works well, very well as a blending shade close to my skin. So that's that. Now underneath, because we've already done our face makeup, no fallout. I'm impressed, quite honestly. So underneath, this might be where I pull out that shade Intense. So I picked a small fluffy brush. I'm just gonna dip it into Intense. We're just gonna go underneath all the way across. Yeah, like these are nicely pigmented shadows where they're not too pigmented so that they're hard to work with, but they're also not like so unpigmented you can't see them. I'm gonna actually go in now with Soul, which is the deeper mauvier tone, and just kind of blend that on the outer portion of the eye underneath and kind of closer to the bottom of that shade we just put down. Okay, now I just kind of need something for that inner corner. I'm thinking that shade Transparent or Giving. No, Transparent. Be a good inner corner pop. So that's that shade here, which looked like it had more pink reflex than I thought it was going to when I did it on my hand. So that's why we're going for it on a brush, because it's kind of like a small part of your eye. I'm not sure how you do this with a finger. It's not really shiny. A little disappointing. That might be because I'm using it with a brush instead of my finger. Let's try it the tiniest bit with like my pinky finger. My fingers are also huge, which is why I don't like putting stuff on with my finger. I think it's nicely reflective here. I'm just gonna layer a little bit on top of that Giving shade, the little bright pink sparkle. Dabbing it on very gently and very lightly, just on the inner tear duct. There we go. That is the eye look. So let's pop on some eyeliner and some mascara, and I will be right back. Okay, so I finished up with the eyeliner and the mascara. So for the eyeliner, I used the ColourPop Cream Gel liners. So in pink for actually my waterline on the bottom, and in black for my lash line on the top. And then for the mascara, I used the Better London Stroke of Wow Volumizing Mascara. This is the final look with the Natasha Denona Love Palette. So overall, I would say that these shadows are very creamy and buttery. They're decently pigmented. They blend beautifully. And the shimmers have a good amount of punch if you apply them with your finger, but you can actually apply them with the brush as well for a bit less of a punch, which I like, because some shimmers you just can't apply with a brush, period. But if you wanted more of a punchy look, you can apply them with a brush. Sorry, with your finger, I mean. So overall, like, pretty decent palette, I gotta say. I'm not 100% certain on whether or not it is worth $85. It seems like a lot, but I will say you get a decent amount of shades for that price. Each pan is a decent size, like you get a lot of product for the price, and the way that the product works is beautiful. Like, they blended, they're pigmented, they're actually really nice shadows. So I'll let you guys decide whether or not you think it's worth it, but I'm actually quite happy that I have this because that went really well. And I love the shades in here. Like, there's really only 1 or 2 shades in this entire palette that I'm not sure I'm gonna be using. And that would be this very bright red here, Heat, and this gold shade. But beyond that, the rest of this palette is pretty much all shades that I would see myself using in looks. And I might surprise myself with those 2 shades, but like this palette here, the layout, the packaging feel, the way the shades work, I really like it. So in terms of fab or fail, I would honestly say this palette is kind of fabulous. It hurts to say that because it's an expensive palette, but I love it. It's actually really good. It gets pretty good quality. I kind of hate myself a little bit for saying that, but I really like it. I'm a bit bougie, and I'm like, if it was, honestly, if it was $50 Canadian, worth it in a heartbeat. It's just a little bit too expensive, but if you get it on sale, I would say if this goes on sale, grab it, because it's actually a pretty good palette. I actually really like it. So that is my review on the Natasha Denona Love Palette. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to press the like button down below and comment about what palettes you might want to see me try in the future, what has been your favorite look so far, and just generally, how are you all doing? I know things are a little bit rough right now, so how is everybody? Let me know. And I will see you next time, beautiful people. Bye!